everyone. I'm Monica.
And I'm Christina.
This is Unqualified and Unfiltered.
And coming up next, we talk about Kimi, a new movie on HBO Max
With
Zoë Kravitz. I will say about this movie, overall, very slow. I didn't think that I cared for it until about 45 minutes in. I was ready to kind of turn it off, to be honest. And then I started thinking about it a different way. And overall, it struck me as if The Lady in the Window was a Black Mirror episode, that's what this movie was.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I completely agree with you on that. It's so funny that you say that it was kind of slow. It was only an hour and 29 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should have been longer because there was a lot of stuff that wasn't really talked about. So one of the big things is Angela. That's the main character's name, Zoe's character. Originally, I thought she was an agoraphobe, like the woman in the window. Then, after a while, I realized, oh, she's not an agoraphobe. She must be a germaphobe because she had all the hand sanitizer and all that stuff. Then I realized at the very, very end, the last 20, 30 minutes, oh, no, she just has severe PTSD from being sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't be figuring that out with the last 10, 20 minutes. It should have been touched on more.
I kind of disagree. I like that they didn't show it because I appreciate not having to see that. And I think they did a good enough job where it just kind of popped out because it had us girl, why are you doing this? What is your motivation? And that's to me when the movie started getting interesting. When it started showing those habits and the little quirks is when I was like, oh, what's going on?
See, what I think would have been a great way to show it without showing it is there was that part where she was listening to the audio file that she got from the Kimi device. And you could see kind of an opaque version of what she felt the attack was, right? I think that it would have been great if they would have put her in the place of the woman because it would be her remembering the events of her sexual assault. And that's why she felt so strongly because at the end, that's when she broke down crying for this lady that she doesn't know.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a beautiful message if they would have done it that way. And it would have made us, the audience, know at that moment in time, this is why she felt so strongly about helping this woman and figuring out what happened because she was a victim of assault as well.
That is an exceptional idea. HBO Max, please contact Monica immediately for future projects.
So yeah.
That would be amazing.
Sent the message that it needed to send, and we would have known earlier than the last 10, 20 minutes that's why she had difficulties leaving her home and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. That would be really cool. That would have definitely added more depth.
Exactly. A lot of stuff wasn't, it was touched on, but it could have gone into more detail. And that's what I feel the reason it lacked was because it was only an hour and 29 minutes. Because they just barely touched the surface on some of the things, and I wish they would have just a little bit more.
Yeah, I think they were definitely leaning into the Black Mirror aspect where it's things are meant to be a little confusing.
Yeah.
Some people will really gravitate toward that. It has a niche audience.
For sure.
But I admired it more later on. First thing we saw about her was just her routine, which I thought was very cool. The teeth grinding. I know me and you both do that. Oh man, I need to get one of those mouth guards.
Yeah, my dentist says I need a mouth guard. Yeah. But they're expensive.
They
Jesus
are.
Christ.
Apparently she's making the bag with that big ass apartment.
Honestly.
I felt super poor. The way they did the COVID situation, they handled it very well.
Yeah, I liked it. It wasn't overdone, but it wasn't shadowed.
Exactly.
I thought it was hilarious how they talked about COVID and she was on the video call with the mom and she was talking about how she met her neighbor and she was, I don't know how I feel about you waving like a hooker in Amsterdam. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
I died. I laughed for I don't know how long after that line.
It was very funny. The mom was such a good character. I was just like, oh, this lady is so fun.
I was like, Mom, is that you?
Oh, you know what actually got me about this movie? I think it was the wrong choice for them to not introduce a score. It is weird though. Why have a score at the end of the movie and not the beginning? I think that's annoying. If you're going to commit to it, just commit to it.
Yeah. Very obvious choice. Yeah, but I agree. I don't think it was the right choice.
It didn't add anything to it. It didn't add anything to the character.
It's so funny too, because when she was listening to the audio and she had all this equipment that could edit the audio, I'm like, where did she get this equipment? Was she a DJ in a past life? Like, was she a producer of some type of music? Did she have her own radio show?
That's what I was thinking. Okay, she was obviously a musician in some shape or form before the pandemic. Okay. But again, that's something I would only know because I was a musician years and years and years ago. But nobody else would know that.
She said that previous to working at Kimi, she worked at Facebook.
Damn, did I just assume that and it never even got brought up again?
Yeah. So they never explained why she has all of that equipment. So I was a little upset that they didn't explain why the hell she has it. Like, even if they would have said, oh yeah, my dad used to be a musician. Oh, okay, she inherited from the dead dad. But they never explained it. And then I can say this because I have podcast editing experience.
Oh God.
That it was complete bullshit that she was able to get the sound of the man committing the assault so clearly off of that muffled, loud music audio file.
I don't know, dude. That had a lot of knobs.
No, it was even Matt, who did work on music, said that was complete bullshit. It would have been so distorted, and you wouldn't have been able to tell what this dude was saying. I was like, whatever software she has, I need for the editing of this podcast.
Yeah, because we say like every third sentence.
Honestly. We got a damn bill. That's our editing software.
Thank you, little Belle. Seriously, and to not even touch on it at all, give us something.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. That's why I feel like it should have been longer.
The person who wrote the script has obviously never worked from home a day in their life, because I have never ever seen a VP screaming at their children on a video call. Funny. I was like, what in the unprofessional bullshit is this?
Oh, that was hilarious. I died when he said, like, I'm like, can y'all shut up?
Honestly, I was like, oh damn, is somebody talking to my dogs right now? What's going on?
Oh, that was so funny. Like, yeah, they would mute themselves and then yell.
Exactly. Like, hold on one moment. My dog is barking. You guys!
Another thing that I thought was crazy that they did was she legit hung up on her therapist.
Rude. I was pissed. That part pissed me off.
That was so rude. Oh my God. The therapist is trying to help you out.
Seriously, like, what's the point of going? You're literally paying for that shit.
Crazy that she just hung up on her, and I'm just like, she's just trying to help you.
Seriously.
But her walk had me
yeah.
dead. And then not only that, okay, this is where you're gonna judge me. Her walk had me dead, and I was laughing. My husband was like, oh, that's how you walk.
Damn, Matt.
I was like, you dick.
I will say you do walk super fast.
No.
Like Mighty Mouse, but damn.
No, so I thought about it a little bit more, and I was, oh my God. I mean, I do walk pretty fast, like I'm on a mission, and I do avoid eye contact with anyone and everyone at any cost, so I am constantly looking down. So I bet you anything I looked exactly like Kimi walking and trying to avoid all these people, and I was like, no wonder no one approaches me.
Yay!
Damn, alright. I have a Kimi walk, apparently.
Oh my God, we're gonna have to test that.
Honestly,
I will say Zoe did very well in this role. Very well. I was very impressed by her acting.
Yeah, her acting was phenomenal. She was great in the role.
For
There was never a time that I didn't believe it, or I didn't believe her vulnerability.
You could tell she put the work in for it, because the script really didn't give her.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you know what got me? Rita Wilson.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I was screaming. I was just like, yes! I had to stop and go watch Now and Then come back. I'm just kidding, I didn't do that, but I wanted to. Made me sad she was a bad guy.
True.
Not even just a bad guy, the baddest of guys.
True.
But damn, I love her.
When Angela went into the building and they said, oh, step up to the scanner. And then she was, oh, I've never been here before. And she still stepped up to the scanner. And then Rita Wilson's character explained that, oh, it's in the terms and conditions that you signed with the Zoom meetings that we have. Exactly. And I was like, no one reads the terms and conditions. And you know what it reminded me of? The movie Countdown.
Oh my God, I love Countdown.
Where the whole point is that you're supposed to read the terms and conditions.
Yes.
Obviously, Angela never watched Countdown because she should have read the terms and conditions.
Very true. Very, very true. What really got me, I'm gonna do a quick throwback. When she was calling that person and talking with food all up in her mouth,
Oh, that was
so upset.
That
I
was
was just
gross.
like, Zoe, please, no, God, why? Why are you doing this to me, Zoe?
You know, it probably affected us because we worked at call centers before.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And when you work in a call center and you have just everyday Joes calling and they're eating or in the toilet, we know, guys. We know when you're in the restroom taking a shit. We
hear the plops.
Yes. Okay, so we know you're trying to be sneaky. We can hear you.
Y'all don't pee as quietly as you think you pee.
Yeah. And you're over here eating your breakfast or your lunch, smacking, going to town. We can hear you.
It sounds like this. And it's the most disgusting thing you'll ever hear in your goddamn life.
It's so freaking disgusting. Yeah, so I did not like that either. That she was just eating her damn sandwich while she was on the phone. I would have hung up. On her.
For sure. I would have refused to give in the person's information too. I'd been like, no ma'am.
Yep. You know who I was surprised to see in this movie? Well, actually, there was two actors I was surprised to see in this movie. Jacob Vargas, who played A.B. Quintanilla and Selena, but we also met him at Comic-Con, me and Matt. And
holy shit, that was him, wasn't it? Oh my god.
Yeah, and he is super chill. He is such a super chill guy. He is so nice. Him and my husband talked about music, and I think he was working on music, and my husband used to work on music, so they had a whole conversation. So he's just such a nice dude. I have his signature on my Selena DVD. I was like, holy shit, that's Jacob Vargas! So crazy. And then the other actor that I was shocked to see, and it's such a different role for him too. He played Rogelio in Jane the Virgin, so Jane's dad. Yeah, I was so shocked to see him in this movie, and such a different character than he was in Jane the Virgin.
Ooh.
So yeah, I was super shocked to see him in this movie. I was like, holy shit, that's Rogelio!
You know what's wild to me? How she just expected everybody to immediately take her word, and she had the audacity to just be like walking with the intention of rolling up in the FBI office. I'm just like, girlie, yes, we should believe women. I fully believe that with my entire being. But that's a little different than going to a corporate office and being like, oh my god, why do you have to listen to it at all? Just take my word for it.
See,
ma'am, sit down.
So I agree about, obviously they would want to listen to it.
Yeah.
Right? It makes sense. But it still frustrates me. And this is what I talked about in our last podcast with the Tinder swindler, where they were sending the articles to Simon. To me, that was the same thing. Why are you going to your boss with this audio when you should be going to the police? You should be going to the FBI. Whoever it needs to be reported to, that's who you should be going to, not to your boss. It's a business.
For real.
They're going to try and save their asses first before they care about any kind of victim, whether it's a murder, whatever the case may be.
It's so frustrating too, because they deadass told her that. You should have emailed it to every single person in your contact list. They obviously have no problem murking somebody.
Exactly. So that frustrated me. I was just, oh great, another one where they're, instead of doing the smart thing, like going to the damn cops, FBI, whoever you need to go to, they're going to, I'm going to tell my neighbor, I'm going to tell my boss, what are they going to do? They ain't going to do shit. Okay?
Seriously. Well, I can't even be surprised, because she ran up the stairs when the people were coming after her. They always run up the stairs. What are you going to do? You don't think somebody's in the apartment waiting for you? They obviously know where you live.
Yeah.
You had to crawl out of a fucking van. They are going to kill you. Why would you think you're safe in your home?
Oh my god. The Joe wannabe was so funny to me.
I was living! Oh, he got stabbed.
Yeah, that was so sad that he got stabbed. But he was bothering me the entire movie. I mean, I'm glad he ended up being like a little hero, but at the same time, is it perpetuating that stalkers are a good thing? I don't know.
For real. And can we talk about how do rich people just not know how to close their blinds?
No, they don't. How many times have we gone downtown Austin or downtown San Antonio and we see these people in these high-ass buildings or hotels with their blinds all open? Like, I can see you guys. I can see you. That's so weird to me. Like, honestly, why do you want to be watched?
I don't even want the deer outside to see me. I don't have time for that. And they're just like, we're too safe.
I do like that she was basically like a final girl in a horror movie, though. I like that. With the nail gun and everything.
Girl, where did she get that duct tape? That was like the one thing. I was just like,
I don't understand what the duct tape did.
It, basically for those nail guns, you have to push it down to have the nail come out. So she made it so there's tension against it. So the nails would just fire like an actual gun. They do that as a safety precaution.
Gotcha.
Yeah, shout out to my uncle who is a carpenter. Thank you, Sam.
I thought that was an interesting choice. I was like, damn, okay. Yeah, it wasn't a split-second decision. It was calculated.
Yeah.
She made sure to turn the lights off, ran in there, went to what she needed to do to get to the nail gun. I do like that both the women in this movie, I mean, technically the first woman died, but Angela being the second woman, that they used the Kimi device against the people. You know, the reason the man that had the first woman murdered, he gave her the Kimi device so that he can keep track of her and listen to her through it.
Yeah.
And unbeknownst to him, she was recording their interactions. So I like that was used against him. And then she also used it against the people that he hired to murder her in the room. Like, Kimi, turn down the light. You know, Kimi, play the music on max volume and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I like that.
For sure.
So yeah, I definitely like the plot of this movie. I do agree that it was very Black Mirror, which I actually like Black Mirror, most of their episodes, so I did enjoy that. But it did, like I said, scratch the surface on a lot of it. It could have went into more detail and been more thoroughly fleshed out.
For sure. And I think it's I'm terrified of Alexas. I think it's creepy. Like, my Siri kind of creeps me out sometimes. I still use it, but...
It's funny because I was thinking about it when I watched it. I was telling Matt, Christina watched this and she's already kind of paranoid as far as with the cameras and stuff. And like, you unplug your Furbo and everything because you don't want it hacked into or anything like that. And I was just like, this movie's gonna make her more paranoid.
No. Well, yeah, definitely with hackers, I think that's like a completely different thing. But when it comes to like the government listening in or whatever, there are certain things where I just lump it into the social contract where it's just, you know, I don't really have anything to hide at the end of the day. These little things to me, I really don't care if people hear it obscurely on a screen somewhere, FBI, dude, whatever. When it comes to like hackers messing with my Furbo,
that Russian hacker guy, he hacked into her phone.
Yeah.
She turned it off. And he hacked into it to turn it back on.
I will say, this movie definitely had me like, I'm never leaving my goddamn house again.
Yeah, so, and then she ended up having to throw away her. So, yeah.
Homegirl should have thrown it away like an hour earlier. What?
I know, does she not watch movies? That's literally number one thing. You break the phone.
I think that they could have put in a little bit more work, like you said, to give it more depth. Instead of putting in these things that make it more fluffy. It's like, we're not watching this on HBO Max for it to be a fluffy comedy about how terrifying it is that we have no privacy. Nobody wants that.
Yep. I think this movie was really funny.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was supposed to be funny, but it was funny to me. Like her walk and, you know, just some of the choices that even the killers made or the murderers. So yeah.
The kombucha glass.
Yeah. So I feel like there was some parts where I was just like, these are really funny. I don't know if it's supposed to be funny, but it was funny to me.
I agree.
So what would you rate this show? Or this movie, I'm sorry.
I would rate this, because it was so slow, I don't think it would be something that I would be willing to watch again by myself. It would probably have to be if it was a group thing to watch it. So for that, I'm going to give it a solid 3 out of 5 popsicle sticks.
I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5 just because I did genuinely enjoy the movie, but it needs so much work to be great.
Yeah. You know what it could have done well as? A limited series.
Oh, agreed. Yes.
If it had been like 8 solid episodes, phenomenal.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It just needed to be fleshed out, and it really suffered
exactly.
from that. That is a total of 6.5 popsicle sticks out of the jar.
Yay! Don't forget to follow us on social media. Leave us a comment. If you have any ideas on what we should review next, I post polls daily on our Instagram, so be sure to check that out. So again, give us a follow if you have any suggestions for us on what to review, or if you have anything you want to add to the jar pick.